Action.
All right. Welcome back, GLX family, to another edition of Football Fan Talk. I am your gracious host, Big G.
I'm your player partner, Raider Mike.
And this is your boy, Big Shann, up in the house.
It's your boy, the young architect.
All right, everybody. Tonight, we got some interesting topics to talk about, as well as making our Super Bowl predictions at the end. You know, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with the two new coaching changes in the league. We're going to start it off with the Houston Texans. They hired Lovie Smith as their new coach. Everyone, we have our strong opinions on this. We're going to lead it off with the young architect. What do you think about this hiring?
I think it was a BS hire to cover up the whole Brian Flores thing because if you look at it, most teams that are looking to actually win, they're not hiring older coaches. And don't get me wrong, Lovie Smith, when it comes to the NFL, you know what I'm saying? He has that background of where he can actually build a team. But if you look at a lot of these hires, they're young, hotshot offensive gurus, you know what I'm saying? To further the game because the NFL nowadays is all about scoring points. Lovie Smith, you know what I'm saying? He had the Bears back when they had Devin Hester, but they weren't known for offense. They were more known. They went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman at quarterback, you know what I'm saying? But that defense is what had him. And then he went to Tampa Bay, and that was kind of a shit show. But I mean, again, that was more so defensive minded. And then even looking at his tenure at Illinois, it wasn't great. You know, I feel like there are a lot of better. There are a lot more. How could I say this?
Qualified.
More qualified candidates for that job. And if you look at it, you know what I'm saying, around the league, I don't think anybody was. I think this was kind of a surprising hire as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of came out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with the whole Brian Flores thing going on, I think this was like the Texans kind of be like, see, we hired a black guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have a black friend too. You know, that's kind of what I got from the Texans. But that's what I got to say about that, man.
Okay. Let me hit on this a little bit. Get my meat up in here. Man, I think they're using Lovie as a stopgap, man. You know what I mean? He's a steady dude. You know, with him, he's a defensive coordinator by trade, so he's going to get the ship right on the defense. And, you know, if you have a decent defense, you can stay in games where it won't look too ugly as far as you getting beat. But he's never had an offensive-minded, really, coordinator that was innovative to match his defense. You know what I mean? And so he's going into this with subpar talent on the offensive side of the ball. Davis Mills may turn out to be okay, but it's Davis Mills for now. We don't know if he's going to get better or not. But supposedly he's going to have Josh McCown on his staff. And Josh McCown was really the front runner for the job. And he never coached an NFL game in his life. He was a pretty garbage NFL quarterback. He coached high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude was going to go straight from high school to coaching an NFL team. I still didn't I wasn't able to look up and see the connection with him and the owners and whatnot. But I don't know how the hell you're going to go coach freaking the NCNL Jets, and then all of a sudden you're going to coach freaking the Raiders. You know what I mean? How does that work? So you got that there. And, it just seems like the NFL, the trend is to hire the young white cat who has an innovative offensive mind. You know what I mean? You have Sean McVay, Mike Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, Cliff Kingsbury, by the way, who had a losing record in college, but went from a losing record in college to getting an NFL head coaching job. So the trend is to hire these young cats with a supposed offensive mind. And then all of a sudden you get Lovie in there. You know what I mean? But you hire McCown, or you're just going to put McCown on his staff. So to me, the Texans they're the worst organization in football. You know what I mean? And it starts at the owner at the top. Like when the NFL players were taking a knee during the anthem, he was saying, we got the inmates running the what do you say? We got the inmates running the prison. You know what I mean? So, and then they just look at the top players, what they have to say. Andre Johnson, you know what I mean? He wasted away his career there. You know what I mean? He had no good things to say about him. J.J. Watt had nothing good to say about him. So it's not just a black issue. It's just their shitty period because J.J. Watt said negative things. Then DeAndre Hopkins, look what they did to him to get him out of there. They gave him to the Cardinals. And then you got Deshaun Watson, what he's going through. So I just think this is basically they're doing Lovey a disservice. I think Lovey's throwing himself on the shield just like, all right, let me do what's right for the league or whatever. So, you know, I mean, not like he's not qualified because we know he's a good, solid coach, but he's not a coach that's going to take you to the promised land. Although he did take Chicago there, you know what I mean? But, you know, he had Rex Grossman at a quarterback and did it. So he's a good, solid coach, but I know they wanted Josh McCown and they're going to get Lovey to get everything right. He'll get him back to about 8-8 and get him solid, ready to go to the future. And then he'll get fired because they're like, you're 8-8. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my take on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big Shann, what you got about that, man?
I think it's kind of interesting, you know, it's what they call a good look, right? Because you think about it, he was opposite of Tony Dungy in the Super Bowl. And it was the first time that you had two black head coaches, you know, in the Super Bowl side by side. So like, how can we be prejudiced? You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, he's got to have Josh McCown on his roster. You know, so to your point, oh, they're grooming him. You know, we can't be racist. We gave this guy a chance, but did you give him a chance, you know, with the loaded gun, or did you give him a chance with the gun that's empty and you got to go find the bullets?
Yeah,
Now,
they gave him a gun with blanks.
Exactly. But now what happens if he fucks around and gets in the playoffs and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are they going to answer that? You know what I mean? Like, they're looking for him to fail, you know what I mean? But what if he doesn't? And he might go into mindset like, you know what? I'm better than what they believe me to be, you know? So this is my chance. You know, I might not get another one at the age that I'm at, you know, so fuck it. Excuse me. I'm going to do what I could do to make it happen. And hey, more power to him. And if he does make something happen, then the NFL is really going to have to look at like, hey, man, we got to look at our practices because this dude put us in the playoffs with a subpar team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're not going to be able to backpedal out of that one. You know, I feel sorry for him to a degree, but, you know, as black men, this is what we've been up against. You know, hey, the odds ain't in our favor, but somehow, some way, we always find a way to shine. You know, I hope he does better than 8-8. You know, looking at the stats, looking at the history, you know, if he does 8-8, you know,
Yeah, he only gonna get 2 years though.
Yeah, no, that he's not there for long tenure, not at all. You know what I mean? But the NFL is like, look, we're not racist. What do you mean? Like you said, I got black friends. The point is to the point that you have to point out that you have black friends. We all know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm crossing my fingers. My prayers is out for him. You know, I don't knock him for like, hey man, it's an opportunity. I'm gonna prove you wrong. But I'm like, bro, the odds ain't in your favor. I hope it works out, man. I hope he gets a playoff berth.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Brother Mike, what you got on that?
Well, like I said, that fool, he on the damn nooses leash. He got a noose around his neck. All they gotta do is kick the chair from under his feet. I'm just trying to tell you, and I'm gonna keep it real. They already got the rope around the level. We got the rope around your neck. All I do is kick. I'm gonna kick this chair from under.
1 second.
That's just how I feel about it. I mean, I just feel like they need to change the Rooney Rule to the black coaches. I have a dream to coach in the NFL rule. They only hired Lovie Smith because Roger Goodell went to both of those teams that hired these black coaches and told them the heat is on my ass. Hire a black coach fast. He's just trying to protect that NFL shield and that potentially to stop the black coaches lawsuit against the NFL. That's if you really want to be technical, that's what he's doing. 1 second, let me get this alarm off. because the alarm is going off because all this racism is going on. We got, hold on. We got we got alarms going. Nigga, we got alarms going off from this bullshit because it's all bullshit. They hired these guys just to throw them in there just to make it look like, hey, we hired some black coaches. And if nobody said nothing, do you think they would have hired any black coaches this year? No, they wouldn't.
Hell no.
Why they gonna send this thing through an 8-hour coaching for New Orleans and then not give poor Eric Bieniemy the job? The man is qualified. If you've been around him for 8 hours, you say they don't interview good. If you're around somebody for 8 hours, you must have did something right. His interview ain't gonna last no 8 hours. So my thing is, he needs to get a job. The rules have to be changed. I'm sorry, NFL, I'm not buying this BS that you guys are doing. No, we're not buying it. We want more because we have more black coaches that are qualified to coach in the NFL. Yes, we're qualified to play on your football team, to be running backs, wide receivers, quarterbacks, linemen, linebackers, tight ends, defensive ends. But when it comes to being a coach and being leader of men, you are second guessing the black man who can relate better to those Afro-American players. You're questioning us that we can't lead. There's 70% black players in NFL. I don't see why it's always been like that. We always know, just like Tupac's song said, hey, that's just the way it is. We can't have it like that anymore. Well, I think Brian Flores is a hero. I think he's a hero, and for really really sacrificing his football career just so we can get this corrected. That's just like Colin Kaepernick is a hero for getting it corrected. That's why I said I have much respect for that guy. I would, just sad that he lost his career. But Brian Flores is, he may not coach again because Belichick got thrown in the fire. Now Bill probably said, oh shit. He didn't want to get put in the fire like that. He didn't. Yeah. But he told him that on purpose. It wasn't no accident. He wanted him to really know. Come on. Let's just all face it, fellas. We had two black coaches that made it to the Super Bowl at the same time. And you're gonna tell me we can't be leader of men, we can't lead a whole football team with black, white, red, or brown?
And they know we can.
And they know we can. That's not the point. But we get the short leash, like I told you. When I really mean they got that noose around your neck, ready to kick the chair from under your feet, is really there because we always see it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, let's go to the tricky one real quick.
Okay. Well, we can go. I'm done.
No. I'm saying this next one though, Mike McDaniel.
Logic.
You know what I'm saying? Going from San Francisco 49ers offensive coordinator, where he called 0% of the plays, to being the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Now, I have just an issue with this based off the fact that this dude supposedly has a black father. I kind of researched it last night, bro. They never said his father's name. We couldn't find anything on his father. And I was just like, and I'm looking at the dude and I'm like, man, this cat got some black in him. And most black men, associate as black men. I don't care if you're mixed or not. You know what I mean?
Because we don't have no choice. So.
You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. Like, you look at Shann, and you're like, bruh, what do you identify as? Clearly you're mixed, but what do you say you are?
Black
man. And dude, he identifies as multicultural. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you know what I mean? You ain't in the club, man. I don't understand that. And then, like, a lot of the players, who's that? There's like I forget the dude's name, but he heads the search for like black coaches and black executives in the league. And he never heard of this dude. So for this hire, and Miami Dolphins, they looking for any kind of get back. You know what I mean? Because they know they did wrong. That owner, he fucked up. He probably won't be owning the team after this year. Going into next year, he might not even have the team. You know what I mean? So this is worse than the Houston Texans hiring. At least Lovey, you know what I mean? You got like somebody, a steady, somebody who's been there, who got a track record. This dude just came out of nowhere. He's been with on the Shanahan staff since, 2005. He was hired by Mike Shanahan just to be on the staff. But he's probably like an interim, not an interim, but an intern.
He's an
type coach.
intern.
Yeah. So he never had no real position kind of until he got with his son, Kyle Shanahan, with the Niners. He was the offensive coordinator, but like I said, he called no plays. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, before he was a coordinator, he was the damn running game coordinator. You know what I mean? But although the Niners did have a little nice fly, little running game, but that's the Shanahan running game. We know that. He's been doing that from Denver to Washington to now San Francisco. So this one is tricky to me. I mean, he's coached on the same staff in Washington. He is coaching with McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and LaFleur. They were all on the same staff together. So maybe some of that stuff rubbed off on him. I have no clue. But this one is tricky to me. I think I'm suspicious of this hiring just because, the Dolphins, what they did to Flores, it's kind of like what you said, Mike. Like, we need to hire 2 Black coaches to fill these positions. They're open, so you can see Goodell going to those owners, like especially the Miami Dolphins owner. He's probably like, hey, you need to hire somebody Black. Bottom line. He's probably like, I don't necessarily know if I want to go total Black. He's like, well, go with logic. You know what I'm saying? So
think about it.
We'll go to confuse nigga.
Yeah.
But think about it though. What does interview well mean though, right? Is basically like, you're not saying what I want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, because Tony Dungy heard that all his life. And I was researching this, he said that he was asked, like, so what's your style? And he's like, look, man, I'm going to tell these young cats that I believe in them. They can talk to me. I'm not their father. I look at them as men and I'm going to treat them as such. And he was told, that's not what I want to hear. You know what I mean? I want to hear like, you're going to put your foot in their mouth when they ain't doing what they need to do and blah, blah, blah. So basically interviewing well means like, hey, if you're not doing what I'm expecting to be done, that's not a well interview. And it's just like, but you want me to motivate men and lead. And I find it interesting that like they're going with these young cats. And why do you go with the young cat? Because older cats, we tend to be set in our ways. You know what I mean? We tend to be like, you ain't hearing where I'm coming from. You don't see the bigger vision. You ain't been around long enough and whatnot. And it's kind of like, well, do you want me to lead men or do you want me to do what you tell me to do? If you want me to do what you tell me to do, most Black men are like, that's not what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to be a man. I'm trying to be seen as a man. You know?
So what do you think about Mike McDaniel?
Well, Mike McDaniel, he that's what you want me to do? Yes, sir, boss. You know what I mean? Okay. Just the mere fact that he can't accept the fact, he can't stand up and be like, yeah, I'm Black. You know what I mean? Because I guarantee you, when he messes up, they're going to be like, we shouldn't have hired a Black coach. Well, he identifies as multiracial. He's still not one of us. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. Like, they're like, well, he told us he was multiracial, meaning that he identifies with all races. But it's like, bruh, you are who you are and you are who you say you are. And look at Flores. He's like, hey, you know what? It is what it is. I may never coach again, but this shit is wrong.
I feel you, man. We're going to see what Raider Mike got to say about that. What you got to say, bro?
Well, I'll just say, we're going to sum it up like this. The man says multiracial or whatever he is. Okay. But check this out. You get pulled over at 2:00 in the morning. One of your tail lights is busted. Or whatever. Let's say one of your tail lights out. Your brake lights ain't working. Pull you over. What they going to say when they pull you over? They're going to say we have a Black male suspect. They're not going to say a multiracial coach we just pulled over. No, you're going to be Black. So if you're Black, make up your mind. That's all I'm saying right now. We don't need the Tiger Woods stuff saying like he said, yeah, that ain't gonna work. Right. You see, his father got on his butt on it. His father got on his tail about that. No, you are Black. Once you got that, you got to run into your veins, my brother. Just be proud to be Black and stand tall and proud. That's all I got to say. But like I said, I knew he was on the staff, but it was like, shoot, I thought he was just back there helping them, pick out some plays. Had a little list to pick out, little playlist. That's all. I knew he wasn't calling the plays, but he was in charge of the playlist.
Yeah.
So how did he get a job and Eric Bieniemy don't get a job? So
exactly.
I'm just gonna still be on that because hey, I like to see my black people. I like to see my black people doing well, and I like to see them get chances. Them doors is already open, but they're half open. We got to put our damn foot in the door and keep it in the door so they can shit before they slam it on your foot. Slam the door on your damn
kick
foot.
That door in.
Yeah, we got to kick it in, and that's why Brian Flores did what he did. And I hope that Eric Bieniemy get a job next year somewhere, or because I just feel that it's wrong for them. Dennis Allen, okay, fine, they hired him, but you don't give an 8-hour interview. What you trying to make it look like he was really interested? You already knew who you was hiring. So won't y'all cut the BS NFL owners? Cut it, and let's just get this right. Let's get this right, because it's not right. Because I'm not saying we got to have 30 black coaches, but I can guarantee you there should be way more than what it is right now. I'm sorry. Yeah. We have not moved forward. We have not moved forward yet. But that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Young prophet, architect. What you got?
So, I was reading up on Mike McDaniel yesterday, and I kind of watched his press conferences and whatnot. And basically, y'all alluded to, so his dad is Italian and white, and his mom was born in Kingston, Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, and I kind of looked at like there's certain pictures and stuff like that. He kind of he reminds me of you remember my grandfather Ambrose?
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me, like in the facial structure wise, kind of looks like Ambrose, but him not him not trying to, I guess, identify himself as a black man kind of says it all in a way. Because looking at his background, he grew up in Aurora, Colorado. You look at that, Aurora, Colorado is not really, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that as far as black people, there's not a lot of them. The man went to Yale. You know what I'm saying? And not saying the African American can't get into Yale or nothing like that, but obviously his skin tone and shit like that. And the man studied history, and then all of a sudden he wanted to become a coach. And like you said, like you alluded to, he's been attached to the Shanahans at the hip. Everywhere he's gone, with an exception of the Sacramento Mountain Lions, Shanahan has been there. You know what I'm saying? So questioning why or how he got this job because of the whole Bieniemy thing, or not Bieniemy, because of Brian Flores, whether him being black or not. Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan both made a phone call and said, hey, it's time for our boy to get a job. The period, point blank. Doesn't matter whether he was biracial, whether he was white, Japanese, Asian, whatever the hell. The Shanahans who have that tenure in the NFL called Miami and was like, we have the perfect guy for you.
Well, hold on, you know one second. What did you say his parents were? The nationality?
His dad is Italian and white, and his mother was born in Kingston, Jamaica.
It's crazy because here at the interview out of his mouth, not to correct you, but he says, my grandmother on my dad's side is black. My dad's black. So that's why I was just like, yeah, he said his dad was black.
Look, this is from the Palm Beach Post. And this is basically the responses that they got in an interview from Mike McDaniel.
I think we got some, I don't know, bro. Just looking at him, I don't know, man.
Exactly. So it's just like, and then also they have another quote that said, before my parents were married, my dad's aunt objected. Her racist views prompted her concern over them bringing a zebra child into the world.
Oh. That went heavy.
Damn.
Heavy.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. This whole Mike McDaniel thing, it's really a toss-up. It's really, really a toss-up, whether he's black or white or not. All I know is the only reason why he got this job for sure is because the Shanahans made that call. Like you said, he was on that same staff with Kyle, LaFleur, and McVay. You know what I'm saying? It was only a matter of time. Because then again, you know what I'm saying? That's like you said before, this is a league of the good old boys. If you're part of that team, if you're part of that tight-knit group, that inner circle, you're gonna have a job in this league regardless, no matter how bad you are. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it's like, it's LaFleur, it's like oh, he's a good fella. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
He knows the rules. He knows, like, multicultural, like, come on, man. Like, for real. You ain't, I guarantee he's never been pulled over to Ray to Mike's point, and been like, what are you doing, black man? You can't.
Hell no.
He ain't never experienced that. I guarantee you. And sometimes for me, I trip off, like, on the alternative lifestyle. It's just like, man, you're flaming when you want to be, but when you need to be a man. Like, hey, I know where this is gonna lead, so I'm not gonna let my lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not gonna.
Yeah, well, let's move on from this one, man. We've been chopping it up this one to death. We got to move it on to Mr. Alvin Kamara. You know what I mean? That's the next little thing on the agenda.
Oh, man.
He was arrested.
Damn.
Arrested right after the Pro Bowl, you know what I mean, for battery charges. Actually, it was battery resulting in substantial bodily harm. So it kind of stomped somebody out pretty swell. You know what I mean? And with this, it's the same old story as we always hear. Cats going out, getting in trouble with your boys, doing whatever you're doing. And there's no one in your crew that stops you from being part of the melee. You know what I'm saying? Going back to like the Tupac Vegas type thing, you know what I mean? Where nobody grabbed the star and be like, nah, you don't need to be part of this. You go to the back, let us handle it, none of that. It's like, me personally, man, I'm kind of just tired of seeing this stuff on Rewind. It's always like a different athlete or a different celebrity that something breaks out with them, and then there's no one in their crew that stops them from being part of it. So, same thing. Apparently, they stomped this dude out pretty good, and there's going to be a lawsuit. Could be, actual charges that stick. You know what I mean? And Alvin Kamara is a young dude in the league, and it just makes no sense to me. I'm just kind of tired of seeing this type of stuff with the athletes. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand what kind of people you have around you where no one has the backbone to tell you to, like, kick back. Or how could somebody, unless they put hands on you, if they put hands on you, then you got to do what you got to do. But even if someone says something disrespectful, you got to think of what position you're in. You know what I mean? Like, your financial situation, who you taking care of, because, obviously all these athletes, they got tentacles where they're taking care of their mama, their daddy, aunties, uncles, cousins, nephews. You know what I mean? They taking care of the whole family, because a lot of times it's first generation wealth. So you got to think, you the lifeline. You can't get involved.
Right.
But being young, having the testosterone, not wanting to be a punk, wanting to be tough, whatever, this is where it leads you. So now we're going to wait and see what happens with him. What you think about, hold up, Mike, what you think about that, man?
Well, I can gather up a whole bunch of information, but like I said, it's always, I don't know how y'all don't understand that if he get in trouble, y'all don't eat no more. Y'all ain't eating. So the people who your entourage, your friends, your boys, they supposed to stop you, get you out the way, and they supposed to, like you said, they supposed to go out there and handle it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be like DJ Quick. You're supposed to be like they blame motherfuckers blame. Well, let me correct my French on that. Is that you shouldn't be putting hands on nobody. Like I said, it's like it said, the bang bang boogie, the bang boogie. What you saying? I'm a gangster. He's supposed to say, no, I'm not. You a gangster? No, I'm not. You's a gangster. That he ain't got supposed to put no hands on nobody.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like you look what position you are, where you are. You're a professional athlete. Act like it. Be professional. Walk away. like you said, if somebody put hands on you, okay, then I got goons to the left. I got goons to the right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what's they supposed to take care of that. And you ain't supposed to be getting in that kind of trouble. You're supposed to be like the DJ Quick thing, say, they blamed it on me. I ain't touched it. I ain't laid the finger on somebody, but somebody had to get handled. You know? Exactly. So I just think young black athletes, you guys, that they do need classes for these young men to, you know,
but they have them.
But they need to make them utilize them, because you guys need still meet mentors. If your dad is not in your life, if your dad ain't a positive role model, you need somebody in there. They need somebody in their lives that's positive, that can teach them how to be professional. It's all about being professional, no matter how you're feeling inside. I don't care if you got the baddest chick with you and somebody try to hit on your chick. Be professional. That's a compliment. Let the chick handle it. Exactly. Let her tell that fool no. And you just kick back to the side and just say, all right, if you really got this chick like that, you know, you got the money. That dude he's a nickel and dime and you got money. Why are you tripping?
Exactly.
And that's my whole thing. And that's all I really got to say on it. I hope the brother that he's going to pay. I don't think he's going to do any jail time. He's going to pay, because the lawyers is going to get this done. He going to have to pay. So you just lost some money for trying to somebody testing your manhood, and you want to show that you're a man.
Exactly.
But that's all I got to
say. Shan, what you got on that?
I mean, I can't remember who it was, but it was some years back that one of the former players turned analysis was like, hey man, you got to establish like your fall guy. You know what I mean? Like, hey, to Mike's point, hey, you know what? If I go down, none of us is eating. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many punches I was trying to pull up the video and whatnot. And like I heard, you know, Alvin, like, you know, threw the arm to the dude. Now you're not welcome here, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then his team went in. You know, dude, look, if he threw 2 punches, 5, whatever, and then somebody else threw 13, bro, you got to take that fall. You know what I mean? Otherwise, my career is over. Because irregardless if he throws 1 punch or he throws 20, it's gonna be Alvin's fault. Like back to Mike saying, like DJ Quick in that song, I threw 1 little punch and they blamed it all on me. You know what I mean? Because you're the star, you're the main focal point. You know, and so his team's got to recognize, like what we had back in the day. Cats would be like, hey, you know what? You're not about this life, dude. You know what I mean? Go ahead with your thing and we'll take care of this. You know, they're supposed to.
Not trying to interrupt you, but they expect him to keep himself as a higher standard.
But like, if it's any 4 of us, right, and we got something going on, and like you got more going on than me, I'm supposed to be like, hey, Mike, you're not supposed to be part of this, right? Whether it's a selfish reason, whether it's just me looking out for you, bruh, you know you the main attraction to this thing. If you go down, we all go down. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about me protecting you. Oh, I don't want Mike to think that I don't have his back. If I got your back, bruh, let me get you out of this situation because I'm nobody. They're going to come after you, dude. Yeah, but we'll handle this. He disrespected you and your woman, we'll handle this. So, you know, I think, you know, sometimes there does need to be a mentor program, but I don't think that the mentor program is going to come from the NFL because they don't know, just like what we're going through with the Brian Flores, the Mike McDaniels and all that, Lovey and all that stuff. They don't know what we go through. They don't know what we have to lose. They come from a hierarchy of like, my dad was this and my mom did this and blah, blah, lineage. You know what I mean? So my point, bottom line is just like, I agree with all y'all. Somebody should have took the fall. Somebody should have got Alvin out the way to, even if it's selfish, to protect their interest.
Exactly. I feel you on that. What about you, architect?
I was reading the article and stuff, and you know it's crazy. The victim didn't even name Kamara at first. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't name him?
Yeah, he didn't name Kamara as far as like who assaulted him and whatnot.
You
the
just
police
said
actually
seen him.
the police went in further and looked at the cameras and stuff and then picked out Kamara because I think initially, which kind of you know, in my eyes, that kind of like they wanted to target and kind of pick out, you know what I'm saying, what it was that actually, you know, as far as what actually happened. Because in wholeheartedly, you know, I think Camaro probably would have been like, "Oh, I'll pay your medical bills, I'll slide you some cash, just don't say my name," type shit. You know what I'm saying? But the cops was like, it was somebody famous. You know what I'm saying? It was a black man who was famous. You know, black man, Vegas, Pro Bowl. I mean, what happened? Apparently, what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Not if it's on camera.
You know what I'm saying? They said, especially like the police, they went, you know, the police, they always have it out for the black man, especially a successful black man. You know what I'm saying? And they're probably going to try and point it out as far as Alvin Kamara not being the role model type of guy, not being the guy you want to look up to or whatever. But then I go back to a quote that Charles Barkley once famously said, you know, he's not a role model. He shouldn't raise your kids and whatnot. Because, you know, a lot of kids, they do look up to these football players and NFL players and they're like, oh, well, if they could do it, I could do it too. And that's what I look at it as far as like trying to set an example, because I think that's what the NFL is going to try and do. I don't think, you know, like Mike said, I don't think he's going to do any jail time. He's going to pay. He might get suspended a couple of games, but, you know, they're going to, like how they did with the whole, actually, now that I think about it, they didn't really do that with no one else. Ray Rice got suspended. Ray Rice got kicked out the league. You know, other black men and stuff like that, as far as like when they mess up. Kamara, you know, shit. Me and my friends were joking about it. It was like the reason why all that happened is because Kamara found out who his new head coach was. And he had to take his anger out on somebody. But I think, you know, in all honesty, I think, you know, he'll pay his little fine. He'll get suspended. You know, it'll be like a little slight slap on the wrist because he is, if you think about it, he is the New Orleans franchise right now. You know what I'm saying? Cam Jordan's aging. He's pretty much out of there. We all know about Slant Mike over there who don't want to play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too crazy for Kamara. It's just funny. There's another picture that went around that said the NFL is all like they're giving out like fake superlatives and whatnot. Alvin Kamara was on there for this. They had Henry Ruggs for the whole 156 thing. It was like, oh yeah, like this, Vegas just seems to be a hotbed for all these young NFL players now, man. What they doing, putting the team there, allowing the Pro Bowl to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's to say when the Super Bowl happens, you know that's gonna go crazy. Like, I mean, shit, it's Vegas. The young people with money. What do you expect is gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? I can't put myself in that position and say that I wouldn't necessarily do the same thing, regardless of what happened, whether it be over a girl or him trying to test me. I'm a young hothead. I'm around my friends. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna be like, "No, you got me fucked up," you know. But you know, sometimes you do got to think. Sometimes you do have to think. But I think a lot of people, especially you put a kid who's never had money for real in a position where he's got a bunch of money, he's surrounded by an entourage, saying like, "Oh, you gonna let him do that to you?" Oh damn! Like, you know, at one point in time, you know, even my friends, I'm sure y'all was all there too. Like, oh damn, y'all gonna let him get you like that? You know what I'm saying?
The good fellas.
It goes to your head. It goes to your head, man. It goes to your head.
It's like
That's
Tommy,
the thing. You said sometimes you gotta think. The thing is, all the time you have to think. But being young, you know what I mean? I know what that's like.
It's more instinct. It's more instinct than actual thought. You know what I'm saying?
It's easy for a 50-year-old to tell a youngster to think first. You know what I mean? It's all hindsight.
But then you put yourself in that youngster's mind and you like, I might have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta keep.
Well, let's move on to something lighter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We've been kind of heavy so far. Let's move on to some light work. And should the Pro Bowl still be played, given that two-hand touch game we saw? You know what I mean?
Football.
What do you think?
You know what?
Mike?
I'll dive in on that one first. You know what I think they should do? They want to honor John Madden, like they said. This is just call it the All Madden thing and just announce all the players that made the All Madden team. And that's how I look at it. If y'all gonna play two-hand touch, you know what I'm saying? They don't even need to be in pads. And why don't y'all just, if they just have a flag football game, if y'all gonna be doing that. But if this ain't gonna be the Pro Bowl, it shouldn't be a Pro Bowl if you're not gonna go play a game. You see how the Major League Baseball, they play for something. They play for that seventh game, for the home field advantage. They play for the home field advantage in the World Series, right? So they play. That's why you see they be playing, right? Now in the NFL, they're not playing for anything except for they get a check. But I think that they need to just get rid of the Pro Bowl and just have it, just call it the All Madden Pro, not a game, just announce all the players who made the All Madden team and just leave it alone, because I just think that that's bad. It's not entertainment it's poor entertainment for me of us who play football and who coach football, and that's not the way it's going to be. Let them play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I ain't saying they got to go out there and blitzes and kill the quarterback or try to kill somebody, but they need to make it look real, like they're really out there playing some football, because if they're not, I think it's a waste of all the fans. This is a waste of all of our time to watch that damn game, because I know I watched about 2 seconds of it and went right out the door and did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Other than that, but yeah, I just think that they should change it.
Yeah. So, Big Shann, what you got on that?
What to Mike's point, what are you playing for? You know what I mean? Like I turned it on and I'm like, man, you stopping the play as soon as you catch the ball, somebody touches you, you run the ball, somebody touches you. Like, it's not like they got to go play 8 more games or anything. Like, if you're protecting their health, that's fine, but they don't have anything else to do after that. You know what I mean? Like, what are we watching it for? Their skill set, we already know they're good. That's why they're in the Pro Bowl. So it's like, what is the point? So honestly, I would much rather see, them play flag football. You know what I mean? If they're not going to get physical, grab their flag. Okay. At least let them run their routes, and, oh, you didn't get both the flags or whatever. I don't want to see the referee stepping. Okay, that's enough. Stop. We don't want nobody to get hurt. Fair enough. But damn, why do you have these cats out here and they supposed to be the best of the best in this season, but y'all ain't gonna let them execute? Then nothing happened, and you might be stopping the play before the play fully develops. No spin moves, no, cutbacks, none of the quarterback like making the play happen. You're dictating what we're watching, and it's not good. I don't know if they need to eliminate it. I think they just need to think about how they're executing it.
Okay. I feel you on that. Architect, what you got on that one, man?
And I remember the first Pro Bowl I ever watched was when Sean Taylor lit up that damn punter, bro. That's when I knew. I was like, damn. I was like, now that looks fun.
He's the reason why the Pro Bowl is the way it is, man.
Oh, 100%. I believe it. You know what I'm saying? RIP. But honestly, I don't think I like the most entertaining part to me about the Pro Bowl really is like the skills challenges that they have, the ones that they had in the past, like where it was like a mini combine of sorts. That was fun. If they're not gonna actually play tackle, they should play at least like 7-on-7 or something. I don't know, make it entertaining. Make it like a little like you have like your 7-on-7 for the AFC, 7-on-7 for the NFC, or something like that. If you're gonna continue to have the Pro Bowl, and also I alluded to this point too earlier in the week. Maybe just keep it in Hawaii, because it seems like when it was in Hawaii, at least everybody actually played. You know what I'm saying?
They wanted that trip.
They try to
Hawaii.
Yeah, they want to move it. They want to move it to every place. They want to move it to every place, every stadium and whatnot, and change it up. Like, nah, man, you should have kept some things you don't need to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they broke the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? All in all, I think the Pro Bowl, over at least the last 5 years that I've paid attention to, it's trash, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a lot of, like, I don't want to see the best players bullshit for 4 fucking quarters. I just don't. I don't care for that. Like even the NBA All-Star game, they'll fuck around in the first 3, become fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? They'll fuck around. You know what I'm saying? They actually get to playing. Like even if they just fucked around for the first half and then the second half they actually played, I'd be okay with that because at least it's somewhat entertaining. But it's just like just for the entire game to go around and you fully suited in pads, like all that. Like the most exciting part of the Pro Bowl was when they interviewed goddamn AJ Cole on the sidelines. Like, and he was just cracking jokes for like 30 seconds. But I don't know, man. I think they need to fix something. They need to fix it because the Pro Bowl right now is just.
It's one of those things.
But let me drop a dime on y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in agreement with all of you guys. I don't think the game should be played, but I remember coming up, ABC Wild World of Sports, when they would have like Herschel Walker racing Darryl Green and, Willie Galt freaking racing Ron Brown, and they doing obstacle courses. So I think what they should do instead of having the Pro Bowl, because these are the best athletes. I mean, they say basketball players are the best athletes. So it's kind of a toss between them and football players. Baseball players are not even in the same category. You know what I mean? So
I'll say soccer players, but that's another story.
But soccer players don't have the same skill set, man. Like a soccer player can't even shoot a damn basketball a lot of times.
You know what? But I will say about a soccer player is the most well-conditioned athlete.
Hell yeah. They running all day.
They're the most well-conditioned athlete. I tell you that.
They got the strongest legs.
Yeah. Get them on the bench press. But what I say is like, you do a 40-yard dash, you know what I mean, between the fastest players. You like play dodgeball, some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like have that type of game, the obstacle course, do like bench press to see who's the strongest, have a relay race with like NFC versus AFC type of thing. Then you have the quarterback skills, which they did have with Russell Wilson. He wins that every year. So he won it again this year. Then you just have other skill positions. Like you have a wide receiver skills thing where you put them through something and see who's the best wide receiver, running backs, and you just do all that. You can make that entertainment. You know what I mean? Like the NBA, they have a skills competition and they have a slam dunk contest. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the same thing could be for the Pro Bowl. There's enough things out there that you can do to have a bunch of different skill competitions between all these great athletes, because that's what we want to see. Because I actually watched Tyreek Hill race, my man. What's my man? Linebacker for the Cowboys. My man. Michael Parsons.
Like how you couldn't figure it out? That's your boy.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I'm right here with this. That's why I don't if I don't know, I don't say. But I know you guys.
Man, that wasn't no race, man. You saw Tyreek over there in the track.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, even Michael Parsons, after he won, he was like, I know I'm not faster than this dude. He was like, I just want to beat Nick Chubb, which he did. You know what I'm saying?
That man, Michael Parsons had his shirt off and was sweating, hit some push-ups before the race, high knees and all that.
I think it's like that fantasy league though. Like, what would happen if Russell Wilson could throw to Tyreek Hill and whatnot, But if you're not going to let them play the game, what are you doing? Then, to your point, just let them see who's the fastest, who's better at this and whatnot. But don't sit back and like, okay, we're going to interrupt the game flow. Like, we don't want these guys to get hurt, but let them play the game because that's what it is. It's like when you go to the NBA, it's just
I don't think there should be a game though, because obviously football is physical. And obviously they don't want them to get hurt because look at what they're doing. They're like, it's a disgrace to the game to watch these dudes, like one dude run through a hole and you just grab them, you're not tackling them, all that. So obviously you don't want nobody to get hurt. Well, so do skills competitions.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If that's what you're leading with, okay, I agree with you. You know what I mean? But just like the NBA, like LeBron playing with Steph, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen outside of the NBA. The All-Star game. You know, hey, let me see what this cat could do if I could dish him off and whatnot. Like, that's what I think it should be about. But if you're going to interrupt and be like, we don't want you guys to get hurt, then why are these men on the same field with each other and getting the fans excited to see what would happen if you got Patrick Mahomes, you know, throwing to Cup, you know, Odell Beckham, you know, that's what we're tuning in to see. Like, hey, you know what? Let's see what would happen just in our minds, a dream situation if Cup was playing with Mahomes, if you know, Burrows was throwing to Tyreek Hill, you know, that type stuff. But if you're gonna sit back and be like, oh, okay, that's enough, you know, because when you watch the games, man, yards after the catch, yards after you know, after the first run, you know, that's what we look for. You know what I mean? Like, can I get past Donaldson? Can I do this? If you're not going to let them play the game, don't play the game. So I agree with you. If they're not going to let them play the game, just do a skill set challenge. But don't.
That's the thing. It's not even at this point. It's not if they're not going to let them play. They're not. That's what I'm saying. No, like, we need an alternative.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. Like, you're giving us a bunch of garbage if you're not letting them play the game. So just to your point, hey, see who's the fastest. See who can make the most accurate throws. See who could run, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, I watched like probably 5 minutes of them. Like, damn, this is worse than flag football.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're all in agreement that
powder puff football.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need for the game. You know what I mean? There's other creative things they could do. But we want to have like a nice little revisionist history little section here. We're going to go back to Super Bowl 37.
Uh-oh.
Now, you Raiders fans won't really like this too much, but it's the Raiders versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Interesting thing, you know, I think given that it's Super Bowl week, you know what I mean, we just want to talk about this because this was to me, I'm not going to sit here and just say these things are rigged or whatever, but I'm going to break this down for you guys and you tell me what you think. This is out of the mouths of Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying? These are two pretty credible people, two Hall of Famers, you know what I'm saying? Two cats that are not going to lie. So, picture the Raiders, they win in the AFC Championship game, and it's Monday morning. This week, or this Super Bowl, you don't have 2 weeks to get ready. You only have 1 week, right? So, Monday, the Raiders get the game plan, and Tim Brown, out of his mouth, he's like, hey, look, our offensive line averages 350 pounds. Their defensive line averages 280. So hopefully we just going to pound the ball to Wheatley and Crockett, put it down their throats, and then we're going to win this game. You know what I mean? They said they get the game plan, and they look, that's exactly what the game plan is. We're going to pound it down their throats, and that's how we're going to get them. They're doing that all week. Monday, that's the game plan. Tuesday, that's the game plan. Wednesday, you're feeling good. Like, the plays are working. This is the game plan. Thursday is still cool. Friday morning, Callahan comes with a new game plan. Look, we're going to throw the ball 60 times and put it in the air. And we're going back to the plays that we always been running all year, using the same exact audibles that we used when John Gruden was the coach. All the players to a man, Jerry Rice and Tim Brown said, everybody at that point, that Friday, was thinking, hey, we don't have a shot at winning this game. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So all the players are thinking this. And the center, Barrett Robbins, who at the University of TCU was diagnosed as a depressed individual, he had manic attacks from time to time. He goes to Callahan and says, please don't do this to me. Because he has to make all the calls for the line. So he's like, we've been working on this all week. Don't do this to me where I have to call these plays. You know what I mean? You're switching up the whole game plan. You can't do this last second. So Callahan does it. and Barrett Robbins is just like
AWOL.
You know what I mean? He can't believe it. That night, that's when that man went AWOL, went to Tijuana. You know what I'm saying? And the rest is history. So
Till Saturday, shit.
you know, even John Lynch, he was quoted on tape. If you go on YouTube, you can see the videotape said, everything they run, we ran in practice. This is unreal. Right. They knew every single play you guys are running. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I try not to get into the conspiracy theories and things of that nature. But, you know, here we have it. What can you say? You know what I mean? Like, fellas, anybody can go in first on that. Tell me what you think.
Yeah. Well, the first thing on the theory is right that you're absolutely 100% correct, because every other team in the history of NFL who went to a Super Bowl has gotten 2 weeks to prepare for a Super Bowl. We only had 1 week. Remember that. We didn't get 2 weeks. We didn't get 2 weeks. We only got 1 week. So that right there was a problem for me. I said, oh, we in for it. I said, the fix is on. I knew it. You know, and I'm sitting up there watching the game. And, you know, me and Mike was watching the game. We was over at Big Dre's house. Dre cooked, made some good food and good sandwiches, but the game was trash by half. Third quarter was all bad. And I said, this game is fixed. I don't care what they say. If they do, John Lynch running off this, hey, coach, yeah, it was just like you said it was, coach. I mean, come on, man. I mean, they knew all the plays. And Callahan was in on it. Yeah, he was in on it, man. That's why I did not like him as a coach. He did not know what he was doing. He was in on it, because why would you do that after Al Davis was pissed? And you know, Al Davis said, I told him to pound the ball. I told him to pound them. If you hear Al Davis interview, Al Davis was pissed. Told him to pound them. And he went and did the total opposite. Damn, shoot, man, you might as well have handed him the whole playbook.
Exactly.
He probably did. He probably said, here's
the
playbook. Here's all
the
all the verbiage. And he
that's
knew.
Basically what he did.
Right. And Gruden, and that's what I'm saying. You know, that's all I really have to say about that. Because I don't want to waste too much time on that, because it's over and done with. We lost the game. So really but it's in the back of our minds that we have been cheated. But you know, you're not trying to cheat, you ain't trying to win. But anyway.
All right, Shan, what you got on that one, man?
Well, I think it kind of gives validity to Brian Flores' accusations, you know, as far as like, hey, you know what, they was gonna pay me $100 to lose, $100,000 to lose games, so we have better draft picks. Like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, why go to the big dance and you're just gonna hand it over to them? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, let's be honest. Gruden was a good coach, you know what I mean? But that was Tony Dungy's team. That was pretty much handed to him, you know. There was no reason whatsoever for Callahan to do that, you know, unless there is somewhat of a conspiracy theory. Like, I mean, if I sit back and tell you, G, like, hey, you know what, this is what we're going to do all week, you know, and you preparing for that. And then 2 days before the big dance, I say, I was wrong. We're going to do this. You're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? Because muscle memory has you thinking like, no, I'm worried about this play, that play, that play. You know what I mean? So obviously somebody somewhere did not want the Raiders to win. And Callahan was okay with that. You know what I mean? We had the weapons. You know, we were poised for the situation for it to be a better game than what it was. And you could go on YouTube now and hear Tampa players saying like, damn, it was just like Coach said. You know, like, did they have the playbook? Did they need the playbook? You know what I mean?
They knew, bro. They knew all the audibles. They knew the play call. They knew everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, we don't need, Gruden had the playbook already. They did his playbook.
They did his playbook. Yeah, so it's like, what was the point of that, though? You know, like, I mean, I think Callahan got a big bag, bro. Yeah, to be honest with you, you know, he knew his tenure was done, you know, and he was thinking about life after. I need some money in the bank, they could have won that game if they would have came with a different program, but he was just like, man, bird in the hands worth two in the bush, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, young architect. I know you was kind of young around that time, but what do you
Because
think?
it's 03, right? It's 03.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only about 6. Shit.
Highlights on it.
Hey,
yeah,
but
I watched. Believe me, like
you was watching
went
it
back,
with me though. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I went back. I went back and like watched highlights of it and shit like that. Like,
You went back to
and
watch
even watched it.
cartoons after halftime, huh?
I wanted to say I watched this interview. I watched this interview with Warren Sapp. Like this was like a few years ago, back with like my freshman year of college. I was watching this interview with Warren Sapp, and he was talking about it. He was sitting there talking to Derek Brooks and John Lynch when they was in the huddle. He's like a little what y'all alluded to. He's like, damn, we was practicing this shit. We was practicing this in practice. Like we got this. Like easy dubs. But even Warren Sapp, like he had this thing. He was like, damn, like did Callahan give Gruden the playbook? Because I mean, shit, this is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like playing against a goddamn high school freshman team. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's crazy to think that Bill Callahan still got a job. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
Like,
He disgusts me.
like he the offensive
very.
line coach for the Browns. You know what I'm saying? Like interim head coach for the Skins for the Skins in 2019. Like it's crazy to see that.
Well, he still has a job because he's a good old boy and he's part of the network. So whatever he did in
But it's
that
just
game
like,
was sanctioned by somebody.
Hey, the NFL paid him
oh yeah,
what
for
he
sure.
did
You know
in
what I'm
that
saying?
game.
You remember that old school movie, G? 3 O'clock High, where homeboy
Mhm.
paid
Yeah,
people so he wouldn't have to get in that fight. And then at the end of the day, he gave him a handful of cash. Then the dude looked at him and was like, how does that feel? You didn't even try. You know what I mean? That's what that Super Bowl reminded me of. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Like
It's horrible.
just from like what I've seen and stuff like that. Like I was just kind of like, just how I know, because I mean at the time Al Davis was still alive. Part of me was just like, you know how they still wanted that revenge. Like nigga, like you sued us. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get ours tenfold. Whatever you did to us, we gonna do back to you tenfold type shit.
Yeah.
The call went in, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They was like, we let them get there now. We let them taste. We let them put their toe in the water. You know what I'm saying? But toss
Call
their
went
ass in
in.
the ass in the deep end. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let them fend for themselves. Feed them to the sharks.
Yeah, I agree with all you cats on that. But now we're gonna come to the payoff of the show, the Super Bowl predictions. You know what I mean?
Gotta pick the right.
I can go first if you guys like. Sorry.
Feel free.
Yeah. No, you won't be. Yeah. Well, first I will go, and my prediction is Bengals 31, Rams 27. I like the Bengals, man. I think Joe Burrow, I think this is his time. I think he's going to do it like all week long. All I've been hearing is Rams D-line is going to sack him. The Titans sacked him 9 times. And, what is he going to do? The Rams D-line, they got all-world Aaron Donald. They got Floyd. They got, what's his name, coming off the edge. You know what I'm saying?
You got old what's his name coming off that edge? I don't know if Von Miller come off.
Yeah, Von Miller.
Miller's coming off that edge. Great.
Hey man, you know what? Tom Brady was like a 2-touchdown underdog against the Rams when he came to the Patriots his first time. You know what I'm saying? So you can believe the narrative, you can believe everything they're spinning, but I look at it like, man, they acting like the Bengals didn't beat the number 1 and number 2 seeds on the road in the AFC. You know what I mean? They went to Tennessee and took them down. They went to KC and took them down. I don't give a damn. Like all the prognosticators are like, well, they got these turnovers. They're not going to get them this game. Maybe that's their thing. Maybe Matthew Stafford, who's prone to throw interceptions, will give them some turnovers too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way they're making it seem is like, why would they even show up? They're going to lose. And I'm like, I don't believe that shit. You know what I mean? I like the Bengals. I like the defense. The defense is opportunistic, so they can take the ball away. And Matthew Stafford, like I said, he'll throw you a hot potato like Jimmy Garoppolo from time to time.
Maybe two.
And what didn't he have like 4 games or 5 games in a row where he threw a pick 6? So I'm like, man, we dealing with somebody who will throw the ball away. So for me, I'm not believing the hype, man. I think the Bengals, I don't think Joe Burrow, to me, any quarterback that can get sacked 9 times and get off his back and still handle his business, he's the real deal. Because I've seen Tom Brady tap dance and throw the ball away, and he's the GOAT. So I got them Bengals, man. You know what I mean? Oh. Young architect. Who you got? Mr. Bingo Bango.
I'm glad.
He's just,
I'm glad I made that prediction early on. I believe in like week 1 or week 2. You know what I'm saying? I said the Bengals are my dark horse to go. You know what I'm saying? I said I wouldn't know if they make it all the way, but they had the possibility to. Why? Because of one man, Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's got like how people say Deshaun Watson just has that factor where like he wills his team to win. He wants to win. Joe Burrow got that same thing. He's got that dog in him. He's got that. He's a leader amongst men. I mean, shit. You look at it. He's been doing it, man. He's been doing it. He's proven time and time again. And don't get me, I love Odell Beckham Jr. is my favorite football player. He's been my favorite football player since I first saw him at LSU. And I want to see him get a ring. I really do. But I wholeheartedly believe that young core, you know what I'm saying? Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, CJ Uzama. I bet y'all didn't. Thaddeus Moss is on the Bengals too. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that whole young core, they're gonna show and prove that they belong. Not only they belong in the Super Bowl, but y'all gotta respect them. Just because they're young don't mean they can't will themselves to win. Like you alluded to, they beat the 1 and 2 seed. You know what I'm saying? In their respective home stadiums.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? They defeated against all odds. They try to say their defense is kind of suspect. Their defense kind of brought them back in games when the offense wasn't rolling. You know what I'm saying? It's young, it's hungry. I like what's that boy, Trey Hendrickson.
I mean, yeah, you're giving us a long, nice soliloquy. What do you have for the winner and the
You knew I was gonna give a soliloquy, man. It's the Bengals, man. I'm taking the Bengals, man.
I need to know. I need to hear something. I need to hear some numbers.
Man, look, you want to talk about numbers?
I know just because it's 2:00, that don't mean you have to stop. But I want to hear something.
Okay. He don't know about the SOS band.
He trying to.
I know you're not saying. I know you're not saying that to me. You're not saying that to me. You know me and the SOS band, man.
I'm saying Young G don't know about the SOS band.
Oh, he know about it.
I'm right there with you.
He done heard about it heard it in the car too many times.
No. Ain't go wrong with the SOS band though.
So
it's 2:00. Don't mean that we have to stop.
Although that's not SOS band though, but we'll keep going. That's y'all world people.
You want to say I could give it to you just you like it. That's SOS band right there.
Bengals gonna take this one 28-24.
28-24, huh?
Yeah.
Shann, drop a dime on us, man.
Bro, like this is a hard one. Like, I think Burrows is the up and coming and whatnot, but at the same time, you're talking about the youngsters against the old proven, and it's one of those things that like Stafford's going to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, in the Hall of Fame, but if he doesn't do it now, it's going to be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So, and then is the first, not the first time, but they're in their home team, their hometown, with the home team playing in their own motherfucking stadium and shit. I think that's gonna give them a little bit of edge. I don't think they're gonna blow them out and whatnot, but they went and made moves to get Stafford. They went and made moves to get Odell. They got Donaldson and whatnot. I think that they're going to pull it off, and I'm okay with being wrong, you know what I mean? Because I'm like this.
Hey, I think you could be right.
You should pull it off, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with being wrong because you spent the money, you know what I mean? Everything's in your favor, and I'm not taking Burrows lightly, you know what I mean? But the thing of it is, if that underhand of the NFL is in there, like, hey, you know what, Burrows, you're going to be here for the next 10 years. Stafford, he's on his way out, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with going with the Rams beating the Bengals, but I don't think they're going to blow them out.
Well, give me a score.
I'm going to say, the score is hard for me. I know Stafford likes a gun. I'm gonna say 31 to 21.
Ooh, like that there, huh?
Yeah, third. What was that? Yeah, because that's 4 and a kick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with 31-21 with the Rams. And like I said, man, I'm okay with being wrong. But for me, it's just like I'm not a big Stafford fan, but the Rams and McVay, they put a lot together to make this shit happen. And if it don't happen now, it's not going to happen after the fact. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm okay with taking them, man. Burrows is going to be there. He's part of that young Allen, Mahomes, he's part of that young shit to come up with, you know what I mean? But Stafford is like, hey, now or never. It's now or never. You know what I mean?
I feel you. Ready, Mike.
Well,
now we come to the payoff. What we got?
The payoff. Well, I tell you like this. This is how this is going to go down. Like I said, it's all in or all out. The defensive line versus the offensive line. The Rams defensive line is tougher. The Rams defensive line is going to kick the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line's ass on Sunday. And I'm just saying that I like Joe Burrow. I love the guy. I call him Jedi Joey. Now, I don't care what everybody else calls him, Jackpot Joey. I call him Jedi Joey because he got the force. But I'm sorry, the force is going to be laying on top of him. And that force is going to be Aaron Donald putting him on his ass. And then you're going to have Von Miller coming on the side. You know what I'm saying? You got Leonard Floyd coming, and then you got that green dude, whatever, the defensive tackle coming. This game is going to be played the way it's always been won.
Don't forget about
and it's always been won. And every time I try to doubt it and say, no, it's going to be the offense. It's going to be the offensive wins, scores points, but the defense wins championships, right? And I'm going to hang my hat on that. The defense of the Rams, and the Rams will be surprisingly better running the football. Don't get me wrong. I'm thinking because Sony Michel is going to show up and show out. Akers is going to do his thing. As long as he don't pull a Wendell Tyler and leave no merchandise on the floor. As long as he don't leave no merchandise on the ground, they're going to be all right. Matthew Stafford, the camel suit, the camel suit boy. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a camel suit man, like I said. But I'm going to tell you what. He is, look, I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to validate his career that he's a winner. And I think Matthew Stafford, at the end of the day, Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham is going to show off and go off. I'm just trying to tell you right now, I got the Rams 34-24. You love it or not. The Rams is going to win. They're in their own stadium. They're at home. It's time. Sean McVay, he has to validate trading Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford. There was a reason why he did that, to throw that ball down the field. Now he got to win this game. They
Not
have
to
to win.
mention
I like the Rams, and I'm just going all in with the Rams, and the light skinned Debo is gonna be punking some fools in the yard. You're gonna be punking fools and taking their 40s.
Hey, not to mention you got Yoda versus Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? Sean McVay versus Zach.
Well, I just said, like I said, that's what I would say. 34-24, like
I'm
it or
with
not.
you, bro.
I take the Rams. I'm all in on it.
Okay, well, with that, gentlemen, that's going to wrap us up. We got the scores in, and then I want to remind everybody, well, actually, let you guys sign off first. Go ahead. You guys do your thing.
Okay, I'm Raider Mike, and I'm just saying that on Sunday, I'm going to tell you on Wednesday, I told you so. Peace.
Hey, look, I'm Big Shann, and I'm with Raider Mike. If they gonna do it, it's the time to do it, and I'm okay with being wrong. But look, hey, I'm pitting the older cats against the younger cats, knowledge against wisdom, wisdom against youth. You know what I mean? So let's go Rams, even though that's hard for me to say, but I got the Rams. Let's go, team.
Man, it's your boy, the young architect, man. Told you about them Bengals. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch their victory on Sunday. Come back next week and be like, haha. That's about it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in.
All right. And I am once again your gracious host, Big G. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to subscribe. And next Wednesday is going to be our last Wednesday show, because after that, we got something new in store for you. And I'll explain more next Wednesday. We're going to move on to bigger and better things. But until then, peace. And we out of here. Two fingers.
Two fingers. Right. Don't believe me, just watch.